Pollination is the transfer of love between plant world and insect kingdom. I feel happy to welcome you all to Naveen Raj at Scientia channel. Today we are going to discuss about pollination and types of pollination and which are the important facts and which are the important pollinators which helps to carry out pollination. Let's move on to definition. What is pollination? Pollination is a significant process in plant reproduction. In this pollination, we find transfer of pollen grains from anthers to stigma, and we find formation of fertilization that results in the formation of production of seeds as well as fruits. Such kind of phenomena is termed as pollination. Then there are two kinds of pollination. One has been considered as self-pollination, another one is called as cross-pollination. Question arises, how do we distinguish between self-pollination and cross-pollination? Let me define self-pollination. Self-pollination is a mode of pollination where we find transfer of pollen grains from anthers to stigma among same flower without any agents. So this kind of pollination is called as self-pollination. Another one is known as cross-pollination. Cross-pollination is a kind of pollination where we find transfer of pollen grains from one flower to another flower by herbiotic things, air, water, etc. or biotic things, even you can say insects or animals. Such a kind of phenomena is called as cross-pollination, and it may be self-pollination, it may be cross-pollination. Both are very essential to result in the formation of plant reproduction. Let's discuss about the significant pollinating agents, and these two pollinating agents are classified into herbiotic pollinating agents and biotic pollinating agents. Let's discuss in detail their crucial role in the formation of plant reproduction. Let's discuss about pollinating agents. Among those pollinating agents, first one about biotic things, insects. Bees are the most effective pollinators due to their role in collecting nectar and pollen. Other insects are butterflies, moths, beetles and flies also contribute. Next one, birds. Hummingbirds. The fascinating fact of this hummingbird is considered as smallest bird, are primarily pollinators for many flowering plants. They feed on nectar when transferring pollen from flower to flower. Next, bats are the important organisms. In tropical and desert environments, bats pollinate plants by feeding on the nectar and fruits. Other animals. Some plants rely on animals like rodents and marsupials, particularly in specialized ecosystem. These are the organisms which comes under biotic category. Then let's move on to herbiotic pollinators. Herbiotic pollinators doesn't have life, but they are called as non-living things. Among those non-living things, first one is wind. Many plants, especially grasses and trees, rely on wind to disperse pollen. Wind-pollinated plants typically produce large quantities of lightweight pollen. Water. Some aquatic plants use water to carry pollen. This method is less common but important in specific environment. Let's move on to discuss about significance of pollination. What is the role of pollination in ecosystem health? In ecosystem health, pollination supports plant reproduction and diversity, which is in turn supports to entire ecosystem for bringing balance. Next, agriculture system. In agriculture, pollination has taken important role. Many crops rely on pollination for fruit and seed production. The health of bee pollination and other pollinators directly impacts food production and agricultural economies. Biodiversity. Pollination contribute to the survival of numerous plant species, which maintain biodiversity and ecological balance. Let's discuss about threats to pollinators. Which are the factors shows threat to our pollinators? Among all those threats, first one is habitat loss. Urbanization and agricultural expansion reduces natural habitats. So this is also one of the important threat to the pollinators. Pesticides. Pesticides are the chemical substances which affects to the pollinators. Next, climate change. Alteration in climate can affect to availability of plants and behavior of pollinators. Next one, disease and pests. These two concepts also shows threats to the pollinators. Pollinators face threats from pathogens and parasites which are going to cause number of diseases among pollinators. Efforts to conserve pollinators include habitat restoration, reducing pesticidal use, and promoting practices that support health. By considering all these threats over our pollinators, I kindly request you all to avoid the action of all these threats. Habitat loss, what we are facing in day-to-day life, habitat loss should be minimized. Second one, we are using pesticides for fostering growth and development of plants, and even we are using fertilizers. In spite of using all these factors, all these chemical substances, try to go for such kind of eco-friendly things which doesn't show any effect to our pollinators. This is my humble request to everybody to reduce the threats to the pollinator. Every flower is the soul of blossoming nature, and pollinators are the messengers of this beautiful world. So today we discussed about pollination, kinds of pollination, and different kinds of pollinating agents and threats. When I talk about threats, it's a bounden duty of each citizen to protect, save each tree, because trees are going to provide many more yields. So we being a human beings, it's our bounden duty to protect pollinators without showing any effects on it. Then we will be able to bring stability among our ecosystem. Hence, I request you all to protect our pollinators. Thank you very much for watching my video.